We learn why bigger and smarter is a good strategy in healthcare with a representative from AtlantiCare Health Systems. And we explore the Latino music of a protege of Daddy Yankee, a young Puerto Rican reggaeton artist. It's all here on this week's Latino Motion. Please join us.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by AtlantiCare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias, and thank you for joining us today. Healthcare systems have experienced significant changes over the last 2 decades, from the advent of managed care to patient protection and the Affordable Care Act. Many hospital systems have seen the need to consolidate to create larger hospital systems with broader reach and economies of scale. That's a good strategy to overcome economic realities and also to improve the quality of care. Joining me is Deborah Fox. She is the Vice President of Strategic Planning and Process Management for AtlantiCare. Deborah, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you for having me.
So AtlantiCare just came out on October the 1st, where they actually signed and officially became part of Geisinger Health Systems. Tell me a little bit about the merger and why this is so significant.
Yes, I'm happy to share that information with you. It's actually a milestone in the history of AtlantiCare. And we believe that our relationship with Geisinger will really support us providing quality of care that our community has grown to expect from us.
Now, I'm one of the board members of AtlantiCare, just for disclosure, and certainly we're very proud of the fact that AtlantiCare was a Baldwin Quality Award winner. So we had pretty good quality here in our system. Why do you think this merger is going to help to improve that even further?
Yes, AtlantiCare has a history of having excellent quality, but it's not stagnant, and you know that healthcare is changing and the bar is raised all of the time. So we believe that our partnership and merger with Geisinger will really take our quality to the next level. As you know, Geisinger is nationally renowned for its proven care models, as example, and their proven care models are best practice care models that will enable better access to affordable care for our patients and deliver high quality outcomes. And that's not something that we have developed exclusively on our own, but we would look to get that information from Geisinger.
Walk us through a little bit of the due diligence, because obviously this wasn't something that just recently happened. It's kind of been a long process, and you've been a key part of that process. Tell me a little bit about what was involved in this merger.
Yes, so I was involved in the merger for 2 years, but prior to that, AtlantiCare, along with its board members, proactively sought a partner in an organization that was like AtlantiCare in order to further the vision for population health in our community. So AtlantiCare considered several partners at the local, at the regional, and nationally recognized partners to help us further our journey along the way.
Now, you mentioned population health care.
Yes.
So walk us through, what does that really mean?
So population health care really means creating good access to care, creating care models to keep patients out of the hospital and caring for them more effectively and efficiently in the community, whether that be in their primary care office, in their home, or other settings where care can be delivered.
And this is a concept that maybe many people don't understand, but essentially you're trying to create healthier communities as opposed to just taking care of them at the hospital. You really want to make that preventive measure to make sure that the communities are healthier. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, as we move into the healthcare industry that is changing, more and more pressure is put on hospitals to keep patients out of them and not solely provide services and care delivery inside the hospitals. So it's very important for us to be innovative and develop strategies to better care for patients in the community.
Now, obviously, two systems coming together, and it sounds like we're going to be learning a lot from Geisinger. Is there other benefits for the Geisinger health system that they're going to acquire from us?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is a mutually beneficial relationship. Geisinger has said that about our organization. They are very impressed with our employee engagement scores. They're impressed with how we've established excellent relationships with the providers that work in our health system as well as those in the community. As you mentioned, we are a Malcolm Baldrige winner, and they are very interested in how we achieved that journey and how we were successful with that. So, we believe that there is as much to learn from us as we have to learn from Geisinger.
Now, you mentioned all the good things about the quality part of this, but there's also economic realities that come into play. Why are bigger hospital systems much better in terms of facing realities of today's economy?
Well, I think larger health systems can cover broader communities, and certainly Geisinger in Danville, Pennsylvania covers a very large geography in the area that they're in, and they've made significant impact in population health strategies in their area. So what will be interesting and what Geisinger has proposed as part of this merger is whether their approach to population health and how they've done that in their community is transferable to our community here. And we have very similar cultures within the organizations, but they also recognize the uniqueness of our culture, and they're very interested in trying out their care delivery models in our population and our communities here locally.
Obviously, this has an impact on employees, and AtlantiCare is a big employer here in the region. Tell me a little bit about the benefits for the employees.
Yes, so we have over 5,400 employees, and we have more than 700 physicians and providers. Some of them are employed by us that cover more than 5 counties in the South Jersey area. So we would expect that our employees are going to continue to be benefited by working for AtlantiCare, be benefited by the possibilities of having broader opportunities for employment, and be part of the transformation of care for our community. I don't think there will be a downside to our employees. I mean, we will continue to make appropriate business decisions, as we always have, for our community. There are new tools and new programs that are going to be coming to our community from Geisinger, and that will hopefully afford more employment opportunities in our area.
And obviously, there's no job loss, so we're not losing a great deal. There's going to be some synergies, but there's not going to be any massive layoffs as a result of this merger, as does happen with other mergers.
That's absolutely correct. That has not been part of the discussion. It was very important that as we sought a partner, that they cared for our organization and our community the way that we do, and shared values as to how we treat our employees. So there are no mass layoffs as part of this relationship.
Well, certainly looking forward to further discussion on how this merger plays out for our community, but that certainly sounds like a very good thing for our community. We're now going to turn it over to David Tilton, who's the CEO and president of AtlantiCare, and Dr. David Feinberg, who's also the CEO and president of Geisinger. Let's listen in to their comments.
We're celebrating the joining of AtlantiCare and Geisinger Health System. These are two very fine organizations that are committed to transforming and innovating in healthcare, which means, I think, a commitment around improved patient experience, better patient outcomes, and greater value for the patients and the communities that we serve.
Geisinger just got better because it's great people, it's a great organization, and we're going to learn a lot from AtlantiCare. What we hope to offer to this community is what we're really great at, and making sure that every patient gets exactly the right amount of care that they need, and that they get care that's easy to understand and really, really compassionate. So together, I think both organizations are going to really improve.
So I think those encouraging comments really affirm everything you said, Deborah, and thank you so much for joining us here on Latino Motion. Hope to have you back one day soon.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
La Cumbre de Liderazgo Hispano de Nueva Jersey les invita a su 5º aniversario, donde habrá más de 8 talleres educativos, presentaciones culturales y mesas de exhibiciones para el crecimiento de los hispanos en la región. Todos los años entregan becas a estudiantes y reconocen los líderes de la comunidad. Comienza a las 8 de la mañana y cierra con broche de oro con una gran gala. Para inscribirte, visita la página web en pantalla. Los esperamos el 24 de octubre en la Universidad de Rowan, Glassboro, New Jersey.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. If you like Latino music, and especially if you're a young Latino under the age of 30, you might know one of today's most popular artists, Daddy Yankee. Today, I have a young artist who has been taken under the wings of Daddy Yankee, David Pinto, known only as Pinto. He is also part of a group that appeared on NBC's Sing Off. Pinto, David Pinto, welcome to Latino Motion.
Muchas gracias. Welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm not 30-something, but I certainly appreciate the reggaeton, especially reggaeton, like the quality that comes out of Daddy Yankee, and certainly you've been taken under his wing somewhat. Tell me a little bit about how that started and how it feels.
Absolutely. I mean, I started off working with Daddy Yankee about 8 years ago.
Okay.
I started originally as a studio engineer, vocal coach, vocal mixing, vocal arranging. And actually, the first song I worked on with him was Llamado Emergencia, which was one of an amazing single of his, more down the lines of vallenato, cumbia, more Latin American style. And once he heard, kind of like, the ideas for the vocal arranging, he really liked it. He invited me over to be part of more of his projects. That's when we worked on more singles, Pose, Limbo, which had over 200 million views on YouTube. It was fantastic. Despedida, Descontrol. We went through a learning phase, if you will. I learned, how the work ethic, in cartel really goes, how all the elements needed to produce a hit. And, after being in cartel school, if you want to call it that, after a while he decided to give me a chance, to do my own, start my own career, and here we are,
Well, you did have somewhat of a break, as you also appear with another group on the Sing Off. Tell me about a little bit about that experience.
That was actually in 2009.
That was the first year.
It was the very first season of the Sing Off. It was when they were experimenting, trying it out. We were the only Latino group, and thank God and thank all the fans, that we brought a different flavor, and we were able to win that first season. Then after that, I got a chance to tour. We were on tour with Shakira. I got to visit, different venues, perform in front of thousands of people, and it was exhilarating. I was nervous, but it was exciting because it's what I love to do.
So it wasn't reggaeton per se. It was more a cappella than. It was reggaeton.
No, it was actually a cappella music when we did the Sing Off. Yeah,
right.
I've browsed around various genres of music and.
Tell me a little bit about reggaeton. For those who don't know what reggaeton is, It's sort of an urban type Latino music, and certainly Puerto Rico has been a big part of bringing that to light, basically.
Of course. Yeah, reggaeton is already part of the Puerto Rican culture, if you will. It's been around for years. At first, it was more an underground movement. People didn't really want to hear it on the radio. Then, it got commercialized.
So it's similar to the rap.
Yeah, it's similar, but it's the Latin version.
Right.
Puerto Rico, Latin America, Panama also had influence in that. And I'm just glad that today we get a chance to commercialize it and bring better music to the youth nowadays and to the people. And it's a chance that we get to connect with our fans. So we really want to take advantage of it, bring the right music.
And I know a little bit later on in the program we'll get to see some of your videos and some of the work. But tell me, you say you started off being involved as a technician, if you will. How did you learn that, and how did you get started, really?
Well, it was actually kind of unexpected because the only thing I was there to do originally was vocal coaching. But there was so much work and so many different projects in the studio that I was in at the time that nobody could really record me or record my vocals. They said, all right, so here's the mic, this is the Pro Tools, these are more or less the shortcuts, this is play, this is stop, this is record. Figure it out, we'll be back in 2 hours.
So it sounds like you just use your passion and willingness to learn.
Really, yeah, it's when you really love something, you put, everything you got into it, and usually you get the results you want when you do that.
Now, there's a lot of young artists out there, and reggaeton isn't always viewed in the best light, just like the rap.
Right.
And tell me a little bit about what you managed to do to keep it clean, to keep it wholesome, and what advice you give to the youth.
No, absolutely. I mean, under Daddy Yankee's wing for the last 8 years, I've been able to see how he manages himself, in front of the camera and behind the cameras. And, it's all about work ethic and discipline. Like in every genre of music, they have their scandals, but Cartel has always managed to, keep a clean image. We've never been involved in any of that. So I think it's all about, how you focus on how much you really love your career and what level of professionalism you want to add on to it. So I think that we're making the right music, we're reaching the right people, we're making the right impressions, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So we definitely want to take advantage and not let it go to waste.
What's the best advice you could give a young artist trying to make it? It's just starting out. What's the best advice you give them?
Well, I think that the best thing is not giving up on a dream, really focus on what you want to do. There's always going to be people that criticize, people that don't have faith in what you're doing. I had people tell me that, you're never going to make it out of Puerto Rico. And thank God, I've been able to go on tour in Europe already, once. I'm about to go for a second time now in November.
Now, you got to perform with some other famous artists. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. I was able to perform in Peru with Nicky Jam, J Balvin, Tego Calderon. I was also able to spend time with Sean Stockman from Boyz II Men. I had the opportunity to perform with Smokey Robinson, which is like a music legend.
Right.
That was really an unforgettable moment. Smokey, we didn't really get to rehearse with him until like the very last minute.
Right.
But he just came in and was on point, And to be able to share the stage with somebody, with an artist of that caliber, it just makes you really grow up and really want to be better because, you appreciate the opportunity more.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing this advice. And I think one of the most important things you mentioned is certainly the discipline and willingness to learn. And you were a great example of that because not only did you start at the ground floor, you really continue to grow and to learn. And that's an important message for many of our youth today.
Absolutely. You can do anything you set your mind to. You got to stay positive and make the right moves, and always, put God first. This movement is all about that Cartel Boys. It's been around for about a year now, and we can honestly say we've been blessed. We've had the right fans, we've made the right moves, and I think we're making the right impressions.
And when you go out for the Grammys or anything like that, or
I'm gonna shout out Latino Motion.
There you go. Thank you so much. We're gonna have more Latino Motions and listen to a video from Pinto. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Sure.
Wow. He viajado a la Torre Eiffel y a cada esquina que puedas imaginarte del mundo, pero mujer, al sol de hoy no he logrado conocer ninguna como tú. Ninguna como tú. No hay una como tú. Ninguna como tú. Mami, tú no ves que yo solo te pido más. Hoy te buscaré hasta que diga el reloj. Ese tiempo no me basta, lo paralizaré. Mami, tú no ves que yo solo te pido más. Hoy te llevaré conmigo a la ira de amor. Oh, baby, le pongo sello a tu pasaporte. Tienes la visa a nivel mundial. Solo conmigo llena ese reporte. Lo de nosotros ya es oficial. Vamos a llenar tu álbum de recuerdos. Ponle memoria a tu celular. Parecerá que todo es como un cuento, pero uno que es real. El party en Italia, la Torre de Francia. Llegamos a París para definir la elegancia. Brincamos a Alemania, la pacas en banda. No tenemos luz roja para quemar en Holanda. Seguimos en candela, llegamos a Bruselas. El vuelo es en privado, hecho nunca se cancela. Una sola gira, 7 maravillas. Pero la gente sabe que la octava es la mía. Mami, tú no ves que yo solo te pido más. Hoy te buscaré hasta que diga el reloj. Ese tiempo no me basta, lo paralizaré. Mami, tú no ves que yo solo te pido más.
Hola, my name is Bert Lopez, and I'm on the set of the public affairs television program, Latino Motion, located at the beautiful campus of Stockton University. It is here in this modern, high-definition studio that we tape our weekly 30-minute television program. Latino Motion highlights issues impacting the local South Jersey Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions by Latinos to our society. As executive producer and host of Latino Motion, I'm proud to announce our partnership with the National Association of Hispanic Nurses, the Garden State chapter. This partnership will assure consistent outreach to our South Jersey community on important health topics. I want to thank Alina Cuetro, president of the Garden State chapter, for helping to advance this partnership. Working together to strengthen our community is how collaboration wins. Bienvenidos and best wishes to the members of the National Association of Hispanic Nurses.
La Cumbre de Liderazgo Hispano de Nueva Jersey les invita a su 5º aniversario, donde habrá más de 8 talleres educativos, presentaciones culturales y mesas de exhibiciones para el crecimiento de los hispanos en la región. Todos los años entregan becas a estudiantes y reconocen los líderes de la comunidad. Comienza a las 8 de la mañana y cierra con broche de oro con una gran gala. Para inscribirte, visita la página web en pantalla. Los esperamos el 24 de octubre en la Universidad de Rowan and Glassboro, New Jersey.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Hope you enjoyed today's program. Thank you for joining us here once again on Latino Motion.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by AtlantiCare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.